Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
You know what? I think I want to show y'all that first to let some people give some time for some people to get into the building. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I ain't playing the whole video. I'm gonna play the part that I'm talking about. Let me go back. Oh man, this shit was wild, yo. This shit was wild, yo. So what the fuck is going on here? So first, the shit started off as this nigga doing one of his little meet and greets, his little speeches, right? And then this lady comes over and asks him, can she help with the, can he help with her child? And I'm pretty sure he ain't hit that because she's not the most attractive lady and she doesn't look like Umar's type, but he asked to go over her house. And this is the next scene afterwards. If you got any kids in the room, get them out. So immediately I'm like, at first I'm like, yo, I said to the man, I was like, that shit right there, she got a fat ass. In the beginning, she was shopping and shit, and you can see she got a monkey back there. But then when I see this scene, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Huh? This must be one of the parents he helped. Then I see his big black ass and what the fuck? Bro, what the fuck? What the fuck? If you was trying to prove that you was an honest man, you sure did a terrible job at that, bro. Terrible job at that. You can tell when he went up his leg, or her leg, he ain't know what he was doing. He ain't know what he was doing. You can tell. You can tell. Look. Why did you go from inside the pants to back to outside? What the fuck? Big back ass nigga. This nigga in here making softcore pornos. This is the guy y'all sent y'all money to? Getting cakes Tuesday. Right. This is the dude y'all sent y'all money to? This is the guy that y'all expect to be the school principal for your kids. Nigga out here doing softcore pornos. Nigga out here doing soft porn. And this is the guy y'all chose to be y'all leader and a principal of a school for your children. Y'all ought to be a goddamn shame to yourselves. Not the people in the chat. We know y'all ain't choose this nigga. I'm talking about his followers. You ought to be a goddamn shame to yourself. And this right here is the reason why you chose him. You didn't choose him for your kids. You chose him for yourself. Most of the women, and I don't mean no disrespect. No, matter of fact, at this point, I mean all disrespect. Most of the women that follow this nigga got desert coochie. Desert. Right. Coochie ain't been touched in bazillions of years. Lonely, desperate. Why do you think he put that shit in here? Why would a man who portrays himself to be a black leader, an educator, put softcore porn of himself in a documentary that's supposed to be about education? Because all of the lonely, desperate women out there are going to see this shit and be like, ooh, I want to give me a piece of that. That's the only reason why I can't think of no other reason why he would put that. As a so-called educator, a child psychologist, a man that's trying to start a school and teach little boys, why would you put your images of yourself doing softcore porn in a documentary called Awaken? That's supposed to be educational. Because ain't no goddamn kids watching this shit. It ain't nothing but lonely, desperate ass women who ain't been touched in years is watching this shit. And as soon as there's always a couple of them in the crowd that's, well, when they do the meet and greets, like right here, when he's doing all this, taking pictures, one of them gonna whisper in his ear, I saw that video. I'm trying to see what that's about. Psychologist. He called him a psychologist. One of the desperate ass ladies gonna see that shit. They fired teachers for having OnlyFans, and this nigga doing softcore pornos. Amazing. Like this is where it starts out at. Him doing the lecture.
Hey, special education is a business. Special education is a hustle.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? He just told himself right there. He said special education is a business. It's a hustle. Yeah, we know now, nigga. You was the one hustling it. Everything that he said them white folks was doing, he was doing. That's the crazy part about it. At least them white folks wasn't asking for our money. That's the only difference between you and the white folks. So I think you worse. In my eyes, you are worse than the people that you preach about. Because those white folks ain't asked us for a dime. They didn't ask for one penny to put your child on these medications or put your child in these IEPs. I had an IEP. I came out fine. It made me better. By the time I got to high school, I was good. An IEP isn't all bad. And they never try to put me on no motherfucking medication. Never. Not one time did they ever try to put me on no motherfucking medication. Because my mom had that Ritalin in her fist. my mom had melatonin and Ritalin in her right and left hand. And so did her brothers. I ain't need all that. I didn't need all that. But anyway, the movie starts out with him giving a speech, and then he does a meet and greet. And you know what's funny? He put that scene right after the lady comes up to him and asks him to come to her house to deal with her son and help her and go to the school with him. She comes up and asks him to help with her son, this lady right here. And then the following scene is this. So, and you got to think about it. What is his field of study? Psychology, study of the brain. So what message do you think he was trying to put out there by doing that? I don't think that was done just randomly. I think that was done by design. Lady asks you to come to her house and help out with her child, and this is the very next scene. Now you tell me what the fuck that was supposed, what message that was supposed to send out. Well, I'll come to your house, all right. That's the message he was sending out. Right, Cochran. Now you tell me what the fuck that was supposed, what message that was supposed to send out. Well, I'll come to your house, all right. That's the message he was sending out. The very next scene, after that woman asked her to come to his house, her house, and help with her child, the very next scene was him getting his shango stick wet, or whatever the fuck he calls it. I don't think that's a coinky dink. Sex Ed 101, right? Ain't no IEP or XCX or SEX. That's the he ain't talking about no IEPs. He talking about SCX. Don't ask. I said, don't ask. No questions. Just run them cookies. And them donations.
You better be careful, little buddy.